I'm John Miglosh, Wisconsin DMA of the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, ready to roll. We got a bunch of stuff to cover, as always. Mark Ritson. I got to get this in frame here. And we got a couple of issues with the frame, of course, we always do. Okay, the evolution of new products. This changes everything. These features change it for the better. My old one is still new. Is it worth changing? Why do they keep changing? I can't tell what they changed. Okay, and it's not Mark Ritson. It's Marketunist. It's Tom Fishburne. And so he is obviously talking about Amazon and Apple and their new thing and how it's not very different. It's really kind of sad. The iPhone, my son-in-law ordered the new iPhone. Scott Adams ordered it and said, what's the difference? Oh, 3 cameras? Oh, yeah, but Samsung has 4 cameras already. I don't know. 3 cameras, 4 cameras. And this is a natural evolution. What can you do, right? I mean, the thing is, to be successful, I've always said, to be successful, you need some core products that don't need to change. Like Land's End with their golf shirts and their turtlenecks. I'm going to order my turtlenecks from Land's End no matter what. And here's one that Tom Fishburne did on the Razor. And I just bought another Track 2. My wife lost it when we remodeled the base or painted the bathroom. But my son has a 5-blade, and he pays $10 a blade for them, and I buy 10 for $1. Track 2s, who knows where they come from. And it's just a natural progression of ridiculous features, overcomplicated. And the thing I'd like, is going back to, this phone is not too bad. I can hold it, but I can't. It's hard to hold it and type on it. You can kind of do it barely, right? This is like the limit of mine. I want the phone companies to hear that I want a removable battery, which this has, because if the battery's no good, it doesn't matter what features it has if it doesn't hold a charge. So renew the battery for $10 and you get a whole new phone. I just did that yesterday. And it's somewhat waterproof, although I'm sure by removing the battery over and over, it stops being so. But one of the interesting things, we're going to talk a little more about this. Here's Amazon, and somebody was complaining that Allbirds, which is a fancy new emerging brand, Amazon has made one identical to it. And yeah, that's what they do. And Aldi is famous for generics also. And that, I'm okay with that on a breakfast cereal, or on a flavored bubbly water drink. If it's 69 cents or if it's $3, I bought one for $3 on the airplane. I bought one for 69 cents or 67 cents at Aldi. Which would you rather have? Yeah, okay. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you want to wear Allbirds and be cool about it, then you got to buy that. If you don't, you don't. So to each their own. And that brings us to considerable topics on the winners and losers in the retail apocalypse. Now, the hard thing about this, for me, is that it's core capitalism. What? Stores die. Why? Because they aren't competitive anymore. For whatever reason, they quit innovating. You contrast that with Walmart as an example. Walmart, Sam Walton went to Ben Franklin management. I think he was a store manager in Arkansas, and he went to management and he said, "Look, we try to keep prices low, but the wholesalers are getting, let's say, 20%. I think it was about 20%. Maybe it was 30%." And all they're doing is buying from the manufacturers, and they're putting it in their warehouse, and then they're driving it to our store. Why don't we go get it? And we could save the customer 10, 15, 20% and make more money than we're making now. And they laughed and they said, that's a dumb idea. And so Sam decided he was going to give it a try. In fact, he named it Walmart because he couldn't afford Walton Mart on the sign outside. It saved him a couple of bucks on the extra letters. But anyway, so Walmart, he called, before he launched it, he called a bunch of manufacturers that he wanted to include in the store. And he said, hey, look, if I come get the stuff, from you, the manufacturer, without shipping it to the wholesaler, would you sell it to me? They said, well, you got to buy it in big lots. And, yeah, I guess if you come get it, we'll load up your truck. So he and the boys used to load up the pickup truck, and they drive through the night. And we had a retailer in Madison here that did that. Crazy TV Lenny, American TV. He inherited his brother's failing TV store. And this was in the 70s, I guess. And so he was an engineer in Rochester, New York, I think. And he came home to find his sister-in-law widowed and a bunch of kids. And he said, I'll try to get the store back on its feet. And so he would have one TV, and he'd say, well, we'll deliver it. And then he'd go drive and get it. Have the customer pay for it and go get them from the manufacturer. And he got quite a big chain for a while there. Anyway, so Sam would load up the truck in the night, and he'd drive back to the store and throw it on the shelves and be open in the morning. And then Walmart was one of the first to use networked store inventory. So he could replenish the stores with an automated system. And they just innovate and innovate and innovate, and they're experimenting with pickup at the store. I think they're ahead of they're so much bigger than Amazon. Everybody talks about Amazon, but anyway, so here's the apocalypses, and they talk about Walmart now doing $200 billion a year just in grocery, and providing online pickup for more than 2,100 locations around the U.S. And they bought Jet.com, Bonobos, I don't know that one, ModCloth, and entered into partnerships with Uber, Lyft, and Postmates. So they're trying stuff. I mean, they're keeping on going, and I think that's really great. Amazon, of course, is always innovating, and they have 100 million Prime subscribers and bought Whole Food to get into the grocery business, which means, they're, for all the online talk, I mean, still, they're only 10% of they have 50% of the online market, but the online market isn't 10% of the overall retail. So they're at, let's say 5% market share of the stuff of the categories they're in. So don't blame Walmart. Don't blame Amazon for your woes. Okay, so I wrote to Hubert and invited him to visit. I don't know, are you on here, Hubert? No? I see my Phoenix friends. How about some hearts down there from Phoenix? So I know you're listening. Anyway, D2C retailers. Harry's, Warby Parker, they sell eyeglasses. Harry sells razors and stuff. Casper, they're not making a blip. Over $1 billion was invested. Yeah, but Walmart does $200 billion just in groceries. Okay, so Google's doing pop-ups again. Sorry, Herbert, but those aren't even blips on the market. Now, Aldi, on the other hand, plans to expand to 2,500 stores by 2021. Now, remember, Walmart has pickup delivery in 2,000 plus stores, which is better than Aldi. But I like Aldi. My wife loves Aldi. My mom loved Aldi. And there isn't even one really close. They just seem to have better deals. It's interesting. It's a small footprint, not the hugianic big box of Walmart's grocery. Technology, again. The biggest thing for me is we used to go to Walmart. It was down the hill from church, and we used to go to Walmart once a week. My wife got sick, and the cashiers actually asked me where she'd been. That's how much we went to Walmart. And we had the things, we would buy and impulse buy, and we basically get all our shopping done at one time. But now, now I go on eBay, and it's bang, 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 and it's fast, and one click. I don't particularly like Amazon. But A lot of small innovators, small retailers are innovating, and you got to keep innovating. Here's an article from Thomas about Thomas Cook. That's something like 120 or something 1978, 178-year-old travel agency, would book you on the Orient Express, but they didn't keep up. When we went to Italy for 3 weeks, my wife did the whole thing on Airbnb. And we got these wonderful little places, give you a bottle of wine, half the price of a hotel. The owner would come and visit with you, and we'd have wine and cheese out on the terrace and look out over Rome and all that stuff. And it was really interesting. It was much more interesting than just booking a hotel in a big high rise or something. And so Thomas Cook was well known, but it had little in the way of competitive edge. Consumers saw little difference between it and its competitors and felt it followed rather than setting trends, and it lacked relevance. Absolutely. So next time, we're going to talk about how small retailers or e-tailers are getting the jump on Amazon, even though they're knocking off their products, and that's going to be a good one. So I'll see you Friday because we're going golfing on Thursday. Like and share, and if you missed a few, they're out on YouTube and they're trimmed down nice. So go to YouTube. If I'm not getting any views over there, it's probably because I'm not talking about it or posting anything. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will think you're smart.